Well, good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. We have some updates on the Michael Irvin case situation that's going on. It's been actually very, very quiet for some time since Michael Irvin filed an um, amended clause to the case back in April. This case should start heating up quite a bit. Michael Irving, who has requested a trial by jury, which is his right, will be granted that, and at some point in the very near future, a jury will be picked. Um, Once he did the amended application, everybody had to respond to it. Everybody had responded to it with the exception of Jane Doe. Now, Jane Doe was the person that he had the interaction with, and because they are concerned, of course, for her safety and things, is probably why we hadn't heard anything. As far as Michael Irvin goes, it's been actually very, very quiet on his front. A couple of days ago, he actually posted on Twitter about 33 years of being married to his wife and 38 years of, let me actually read the quote. Thank God for 33 years of marriage and 38 total with the greatest blessing and gift that has ever been bestowed to me. And he had a picture from him and her from way back. I mean, it must have been like 38 years ago. And he had also posted about Ray Lewis's son, and I want to read that as well. No father should ever have to bury his son. My heart bleeds for my brother Ray Lewis and his family. There is not anything anyone can say to ease the depth of pain. Just know that, my brother, we love you and God has you. That was 2 days ago, and it was just a day ago for the blessing. So, Inside the Star is the one that's actually posted this article about the latest update. Usually, LegalPad has been way on this. LegalPad, of course, who is an attorney, I'm hoping that he'll do an update on this as well because he can give you from a legal standpoint more than anything else. The last update we had actually gotten from him was basically letting us know that the amended filing would basically be that Marriott would have to answer within 30 days, and then there would be pre-meetings basically to set up actually the date. We know Kathleen Cannon in Maricopa County in Arizona is the judge who is actually going to be seeking this. So we knew who all the defendants were, with the exception of Jane Doe, and is now listed as Jane Doe, and Jane Doe's husband as well are now defendants. So let me get to the response that we had from this article. Um, the complaint Michael Irvin has, which is the case against him, is the defendants improperly took direct measures to scar Michael Irvin's reputation, which had a direct and detrimental effect to his livelihood, business relationship, and perspective engagements, and causing him humiliation and emotional distress. Defendants accomplished this through result of unfair and wrongful means. And for those wondering if the case would actually go against the NFL, you don't tug on Superman's cape. So he's not saying anything wrong about the NFL because ultimately you could win against the NFL, but then you still lose because, of course, then you're persona non grata. The complaint alleges that the defendants knew that the NFL would be quick to take action after hearing about the allegations against Irvin. It also claims that the NFL was depending on Marriott and Renaissance to do a thorough investigation before relying events or accusation to the NFL. So basically, Michael Irvin's people are saying that they knew, Renaissance knew, that they were going to end up hurting Michael Irvin, and that the NFL basically was relying on their partner, okay, sponsor, official sponsor, to actually do a thorough investigation. Michael Irvin saying, you didn't really investigate this. You didn't talk to the witnesses, the people that were around. The guy who was with Michael Irvin, who we spoke with, before being dropped off. Was he actually drunk, like it was actually alleged? You know, there's all kinds of people that were never talked to. So Michael Irvin is alleging they did not do a thorough investigation. Upon further information and belief, the complaint reads, Renaissance and Marriott, not the NFL, informed information bearing the interaction between Miss Jane Doe and Michael Irvin and false statements concerning Michael Irvin. So Michael Irvin has been seeking $100 million in damages. Now, here's the thing. Him being pulled from NFL Network and from ESPN, he probably would not have made $100 million. Now, Pat McAfee has got, $72 million deal with FanDuel. So it's not just the loss of the money. It's also punitive damages that he's seeking, which means is we want to punish them for what they did so they'll think twice before doing it. And that's where it's basically the $100 million number has been removed. And it's up to the jury, if he wins, how much money he would actually be getting. The complaint includes 4 claims for relief. The third and fourth claims are for treacherous interference with contracts and business experiences, respectively. Both claims ended with the same statement. Defendants' actions were intentional, aggravated, and committed with an evil mind and intent to cause injury or recklessness, and deliberately disregard an unjustified substantial risk and significant harm to Mr. Irvin. So, basically just saying, what you guys did, unsubstantiated, ended his career and his livelihood. So, so basically, it's seeking higher interest can be made on the awards. Okay, the response, of course, from Jane Doe. This is the exact wording of it. Let's see. Let me get down to it. Although, and this is through attorney, it's all legal mumbo jumbo. Although defendants denies making any defamatory or slanderous statements and or giving publicity to any such statements, as in she didn't go out and say, to the world, hey, this is what happened. That was actually Marriott. To the extent necessary to preserve the defense, defendant asserts the plaintiff's claims are precluded by common law, qualified, absolute, conditional, and other applicable privileges and immunity included but not limited to conditional privilege to report perceived acts of sexual harassment. Not only does Jane Doe affirm the defense claim that Jane Doe's were the truth, it also points out she did not publicize the accusations. And basically she's saying, it's not my fault. You lost your job. That is on you. So this will be for the court to decide, A, do the charges of him having sexual misconduct, did that actually happen? If they can't prove that they did, then they look at it and say, okay, it's unsubstantiated. You did this without proof and evidence of that, in which case Michael Irvin wins. I don't know how easy this is going to be to prove. That's up to the jury to decide, jury of your peers. The plaintiff alleges damages, if any, were caused and or contributed by the plaintiff's own conduct and that of the non-parties and not actions and inactions of the defendant. And that's where she's saying, it's not my fault, it's your fault. Or their attorneys are saying that. And so we'll see where this goes. Now that there's been a response, I believe it's within 15 days that they have to have a pre-trial meeting, which is like a pre-trial meeting. Then they have to have a second meeting, and then they actually will set up a court date. The thing that you have to start looking at right now with ESPN literally gutting their staff right now is if Michael Irvin will ever get an opportunity to get back on First Take. They are in the process of redoing the whole ESPN thing. They've got Pat McAfee coming in, which is eating up a big chunk of the pie, but they're losing money like crazy, and so they're jettisoning a lot of talent. Guys like Steve Young may not be returning, and some of the guys and ladies that you've seen forever. And so bringing back a controversial figure in Michael Irvin may never happen with ESPN. And NFL Network, again, is kind of going through the same situation as well, where other avenues are actually taking pieces of the pie where they're no longer the monopoly. So we'll have to keep a bridge of this, but look for within the next couple of weeks more information on this as they get closer to setting actually a trial date. Unfortunately, this is not like the rocket docket that's in Texas. Arizona will take a little bit more time than they do, but it is definitely beginning to come to a head. We'll see what we're going to see. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys, as always. And I'll see you guys. We'll have any new updates on this tonight at our live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern. See you then.